Skip Martin's Friends and Legends podcast.
Hey, friends and family, how you doing out there? Welcome to my show, Friends and Legends. And this is Skip Martin. I want to give you some love here today, and I have a really good friend of mine on the phone, on the computer, out of Atlanta, Mr. Dave Tolliver. Actually, we call him Dr. Dave Tolliver. Dr. Dave from the
What's
group
happening, man?
Men
What's
at Large.
happening?
How you doing, man? You good?
I'm all good. I can't complain. If I do, ain't nobody listening, man.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I'm glad to have you on here today. You're one of my favorites out there, and I wanted to share some of your story, where you came from, what got you into music, how you feel about music. Tell them that story about how you started singing.
Well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. My uncle, his name is Lynn Tolliver. He was more like my dad, so I call him my Uncle Dad. He
Mm-hmm.
had been in radio since 1969, so that's like
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
He started me off in '86, so this year is like my 40th year just doing
Wow.
radios. But I would always be around the radio station with him from the time I was a little boy all the way up till I was like 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And at like about 10, 11, 12, 13, I started singing in groups, and man, it was like all we sang was Dazz Band and New Edition, man. Like he played your records all the time, man. And you were the reason why I wanted to sing, man. Like
Wow.
your voice, your song, you know what I'm saying? You were the reason that I wanted to sing, and I had no idea that you weren't from Cleveland, because hell, you were always there. Every time I looked
Right.
up at Woodhill Park or
Right.
somewhere like that,
Right.
you guys were always performing there, man.
Yep.
It was an honor to be able to see you. And then I'll be honest, the culmination, the pièce de la resistance, was when you, myself, the guy from Surface, and Tony Terry did the concert at Tony's apartment
Yeah.
during the pandemic.
Yeah, that
Man,
was
that
something,
was one of
man.
the highlights of my life, man, of my career, bro. Real talk.
That was a great moment, man. That was a pop up. I just was in town, and you guys were all in town, and I said, come on, man. And we're talking about Tony Terry, y'all. And
Yeah, Tony
when I'm
Terry.
with you, I mean that guy's a singing fool,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I said, Tony, let's just do a thing and put it on live and just do it tonight. Just have fun. He said, okay. And you came through, and the guy from Surface came through, and we just sit there and just
yeah,
some dudes with a couple drinks and a couple ladies standing on the side with their asses sticking out, and we started just
yeah.
singing all night long. Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah, well, most definitely.
That was
But
really a beautiful thing, man.
continue with my story. It seemed like it seemed like everybody that was in the city was just trying. That's all they sang was Dazz Band songs, knock knock, heartbeat, when you needed roses. I mean, it was, man. That's all they sang. Now that we've danced you, it's time to take it
Right,
slow, man. Damn, man, y'all have so many, then cats used to try to do the little dance steps, the joystick, and
right,
whip it,
right.
baby. Bow. I'll be honest with you though, I don't like the new group they have going out now, but we won't even touch that.
Well, everything has to evolve. Everything has to
You know
go.
I gotta be a jerk.
Everything has to evolve. That's I can understand that love. That's a love prejudice. That's all that is. And I appreciate that. I respect
Yeah,
that. I've always heard, your voice singing. I was glad to hear your voice, but I didn't get a chance to meet you personally until actually to that time, and I was not
yeah.
aware of like just how bad a singer you are. You be killing it, man. I'm like, dang. So I was inspired, as I'm always inspired by music, to do some things with you. And tell them how you feel about that song. What do
Man,
you think about that song we did together called "Someone Like You"?
I love it, man. I wish we could do a whole album together, man. Somebody that you look up to and admire. And I'm gonna tell you what broke my heart though was when you called. You were looking for Tony Terry for that song y'all got the Emmy for, and I was like, man, let me be on it too. Let me get on it too. You was like, what's Tony's number? So I sent you Tony's number, and y'all ended up getting that damn Emmy for that song, man. That would have been
Oh,
so. You know what I mean? But it's cool though. We got other times.
well, we got other
Man,
time.
that song, that Someone Like You was a it turned out to be my most streamed song, and of all my records except for maybe one. I mean, on my solo side.
Uh-huh.
But man, people really like that record, and I've still been thinking about when I do solo shows, how do I perform that? So, because like I don't want to take your vocals off, and I don't want to sing your part. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
man.
so you.
But just go in there and do your thing, man, and perform it on, or put me on a screen behind you, what have you, and then
Yeah,
and you
that'll be
sing with
dope.
me, okay?
Yeah,
Because
that'll be
we
crazy.
have the technology now, to do that,
Yeah, technology is a
you know.
monster. Yeah, bro.
And I'm gonna keep you abreast on some other things because I have another opportunity with another song to do it again. I'm gonna add some different people to this particular one, so
Yeah, you gotta
I
have the
would like you
king on
to,
there, the new
you
king,
know.
me.
That's right. I'm saying I gotta bring something else and other things, turn other people on to it, and this one is a very magical song. It's probably more powerful than people get ready. Yeah, I think it definitely
Yeah,
is. So I'm gonna share that with you, and we'll talk
I
about that.
can't wait.
I want you to hear it, and I'm gonna do kind of the same thing I did. I just had to take a breath because that particular thing was really a God force scenario. I've thought I'd never do something like that again because it was so demanding. I mean, I did 168
Yeah,
tracks, and God gave me the discernment to take the best parts from the hottest parts from 29 different artists on a 3 minute and 18
wow.
second song. Okay. So that was a
30 is the
challenge.
magic number, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, so
I'm
I was
saying
like,
you
that was
missed
a, that
one.
was
You
a
know what I
lot.
mean? We
Save
could
the
have got the
best for last.
Oscar too.
I'm going to keep it going, but I have another one. This one is really, really hot. So we're going to talk more about that. Matter of fact, I'm going to be out your way pretty soon in June to do a show on the
Oh man.
20th, I believe. The 20th of June. I'll be there in Atlanta. That's
Well,
where you are, right?
we yeah.
Tell
Yeah,
me
I am in
some.
Atlanta. I'm on tour with the we doing that other group, it's they're called the LeVert Experience. It's
Okay.
myself, Joe Little from the Rude Boys, and Mark Gordon, the last living member and founder of the group LeVert.
Yeah.
We've been touring with that for the last 2 years.
Oh, that's great.
We have some shows in June. I hope I'm home though. If so, I gotta be there. 'Cause my wife will say, "Skip's coming to town. Skip's gonna be here." I'm like, "Really, really?" Because she knows how much I love you, bro.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so hopefully I'm home. But yeah, man, we doing that, and
Back up from the
man,
screen a
you
little
come to
bit.
town,
Back
man.
back up from the screen a little bit
You
because
gotta
all I
hit
see is
me
your
up,
nose
dog.
here. There you go. All right. There you go.
Yeah, you gotta hit me up.
Yeah. I'll hit you up, man. We'll make that happen and I'll hit you up. I also wanted to ask you, I have you on this time. We only have so much time, but I wanted to check you out on this. Um, your Tell me about some of this history with some of these songs that you were doing, how you even came up with this minute large thing. What was that all about, dude? I saw some of your videos and what have you. That stuff was crazy great.
So with the Men at Large, as far as like the name, first we were called Boys from the Hood, and
Okay.
it originally was three guys, and then the third guy fell out with Gerald, but it would have been no good for him because he would have just been living on the outside of an inside joke. Because Jason and I were my original partner, were so close, and just we had been together since birth. My mom and his mom were best friends for 30 years before my mom had passed away, and so he'd have just been dancing around the fire while we was roasting marshmallows. He wouldn't have been really invited to the party. And
Mm-hmm.
one day I was like, I don't want to be, 50, 60, 70. Wow, I am 50 something, 60 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
be called ladies and gentlemen, because we plan on doing this for my life. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Boys from the Hood. I ain't from the hood at 60, especially if my career
Mm-hmm.
is still moving now. So I
Right.
was like, one day I heard a song by Michael Bivins' group, ABC, and they said something about men at large. And I'm like, that's a cold name. I was like, we using that. I said the group name should be Men at Large. And a men at large is not only a man that's large in stature, but he's somebody that's large in the community, in the
Mm-hmm.
business. He
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of clout. You know what I'm saying? He's a man at
Yeah.
large, and so we
Yeah.
both were fat, 400-pound dudes. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
but most of the, yeah, man. I'm in my twos now. I'll never go back to three.
Skip Martin's Friends and Legends podcast. Sponsored by Electric Shop Recording Studio. The best recording studio in Las Vegas. Award-winning engineers. Top-of-the-line equipment and specialized service.
Okay.
We most of the stuff, especially on our first project, we were spoon fed. I think a lot of the things we did were things that maybe Gerald didn't want, but or that LeVert didn't use, because it all has that sound. Like if you listen to Baby I'm Ready, if you listen to
Mm-hmm.
So Alone, they're
Mm-hmm.
basically the same song. You could probably sing the same lyrics or melodies to those tracks. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of, I think back in the day, we used to think everybody was like original or different stuff like that. But if you sit down and really listen, there was a lot of stuff that was kind of repetitive if you really pay attention to it. But I just think they had a way of sealing it up in an envelope where you really didn't know it, and the envelope was sealed and you just enjoy looking at it. So you didn't open up the envelope, you just rock with the music. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know um I think with the first record, the first album, I don't think that the record company knew what to do. They didn't really believe that two big girls were going to have ladies going crazy. But the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that was different about us big guys is that we were clean and neat,
Mm-hmm.
haircuts,
Mm-hmm.
smelled good, handsome dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about things that happened after the shows. This would
Mm-hmm.
be your highest rated show. And I think after the record company saw, I think you're right. I think after the record company saw what was happening, they instantly changed it from being a gimmick based, trying to play off our weight, to pushing
Mm-hmm.
us as, lover boys, you know what I mean? And that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened on the second album. On the second album, we did a lot of writing, a lot of production, you don't get the credit for it sometimes, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
we did. The first album was a lot of hip hop, and because we were hip hop fanatics, man. I love
Mm-hmm.
hip hop. And we did I wrote all the raps that I did on the album. Second
Mm-hmm.
album, same thing, but on the second album we had a chance to write a little more. We had the song Let's Talk About It. It did pretty good, top 20 for us. It did pretty good. R. Kelly did a remix on it, him and his crew. That
Mm-hmm.
was the first. The second single was Holiday. We had Tommy Ford and Pam
Mm-hmm.
Tachina Arnold from The Neighborhood and from Martin. They were in the video. We was on our way. And then they
Mm-hmm.
had a merger, and everything went haywire. So
Mm-hmm.
and then my man, he wanted to go gospel, but he didn't do anything for 12 years. Then
Wow.
after that, I kept going. I found another guy. He passed away after the pandemic, a year after, like January 21. His name was
Wow.
Gemini Porter, a guy from Chicago, Illinois. We had a nice run for 24 and a half years. We released two albums, and then I'm pushing it along because I don't know how much time. And then finally, me and my original partner got back together in 21, and we put out an album in 2022, which was 30 years to the date of our first album, and it's called Love Benefits. We had a lot of Grammy winning producers and writers and stuff on there. Jason's brother Jay Sean, who has written for everybody from Usher,
Right. I heard that
everybody,
about
Faith
that guy. We've been
Evans.
trying to still been trying to catch up to that guy. He just won't call back. I'm like, but I
Yeah,
had to say, yeah.
I think I think what happened was, I think he was looking for a cash exchange instead of looking at what the levity of what the situation could be instead of, you know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
sometimes when people don't know of what the situation is, or don't realize how important, the person on the other end, sometimes they miss out on an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like when I see all the people that you work with, man, you work with some really legendary people from all sides, not just the black
Mm-hmm.
side, but all
Mm-hmm.
sides of music. Man, if
Mm-hmm.
I had a chance to do a project with you, knowing that you're traveling with what, like Dave Matthews people and
Mm-hmm.
all, I mean, just all kinds of big name. I think you were doing Pat Mahoney or something like that. All kinds of,
Yeah,
man,
and Tom
you've
Schumann
been with
from
Jesus
Tom
Christ on the road. So I'm saying,
Tom Schumann from Spyro Gyra, and John Elfonte from Kansas, and David Chef.
hey man, but I'm
Man,
saying you've been with everybody because
yeah.
of your music prowess. And I mean, even if even if you hadn't have been my musical motivation as a kid, I still, knowing how much of a student of the game he is, I don't know why he didn't jump on the opportunity to work with you, because number one, you're legendary, and if you're not legendary in the light on the mass public, everybody in the industry knows, man. You, Stevie, Donnie, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Y'all cats is, man.
Well, I've been
I'm just
very blessed
saying,
to be around those guys. I was blessed to have Stevie Wonder on this last project. I was blessed to have him as he vocal coached me. He got me to Seth Riggs. So he paid for my lessons that last me the whole lifetime, 50 something years. Um,
man.
and just being around some of the greatest people, and I always take lessons, and I take names and numbers and keep on going. But I have learned
Yeah, man.
that success at anything is, and I really learned it from this last project, this People Get Ready project. I learned that the most profound projects of my life were the projects that I did with other people or for other people. When it ain't about me, it's about us. That's
Right,
when it hits. And that's the biggest lesson I learned from doing that
right.
project, because I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it because I, just like you were, I was just stuck at home. Where you at, man? You gone somewhere? Where you at, Dave? Did you
No, I'm
drop your
right here.
joint?
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm not gone. I'm
Oh,
not gone.
okay.
I'm not gone. 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 I'm right here. I'm not leaving you, brother.
Wait. You hear me? I said, what, you drop your joint? I was like, man, come on, man. No, I can say whatever I want. I can say
No,
whatever I want on my podcast, you know. But yeah,
there
that's
it
what
is.
I
No, I ain't dropped
learned
it.
from
I ain't even light it up yet.
that's what I learned, man, from being out here and doing these projects, make it about other people. So where our
Yeah.
time is going, and actually we got a couple minutes left. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to thank you for being a part of my life and enhancing me with the stories and sharing some of these stories about who you are. And we're going to continue on with the
Anytime.
part two and some other things that we're going to do. And for those of you out there that are checking this out, go out and listen to Spotify and pull up that song "Someone Like You," where I featured Mr. Dave
Yeah.
Tolliver. I put you in front of
Let me
me.
tell you something crazy. Yeah, I'm honored to be on that with you, man. It is, and I tried to sing it like you.
Man, you
Someone that,
sang your
you know what
thing.
I
You
you know
did
what
it.
I mean?
Man, you just did it. It sounded so great. And I got four different versions of that song,
Man,
and I put yours out first. So we're gonna keep it going. And
it's the best.
someone like you, man. Yeah, it is. It's really great. So
Yeah.
someone like you, check it out, you guys. How can people reach out to you, Dave?
You can catch me at Dave Men at Large, Dave Men at Large, or just search Dave Tolliver on all the platforms. You'll see my solo music, and I'm dabbling in a little rap, man. I have a rap single out and video out now called "Too Much Pain,"
All
and
right.
yeah, it's not nasty rap, but this one is focused kind of on mental health, my mental health story. This one single. And
Yes.
it's out right now. Yeah, man.
That's
Produced
what
by
I
my
wanted to
man
get
West
more
Now.
in
Video
depth
arranged by
in.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to get into
yeah.
depth on that, but my time is running short now. But we're going to talk
It's
about
all
this as
good.
an
Thank you, man.
advocate for mental health, and just music is a tool for change. It's a tool, it's a
Man, ain't it?
medicine, it's a soul vaccination, it's
Yeah,
a healing. So let's continue to
yeah,
heal
man. It
people
is.
and make a difference in the world, because once our lives are gone, we'll be forgotten in 2 generations. Nobody will even know who we were. So let's make some kind of an
Dig it.
impression here while we are here, you know?
Yeah, man. I
So
appreciate you.
I
Love you,
love you,
man.
man. I thank you very much for being on this with me. And you guys remember out there, you're watching this show, my Friends and Legends show, one of my friends and legends, Mr. Dave Tolliver. All right, you guys, I'm going to talk
Yeah,
to you next
man.
time. And
All right, man.
remember my phrase. You know, my phrase is don't play no
Don't play
game.
no game.
I'll talk to you later, man. Take care.
All right, man.
All
Later.
right.
Yeah.
Bye.